Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and welcome to our Westchester Weekly Update. Today is Monday, July 1st, 2024. We're very happy to have you with us here. We are halfway through the calendar year of 2024, and I might add that when these 6 months expire at the end of the year, we will be halfway through the decade of the 20s. That's hard to imagine. Time is going by very quickly. We have a report today that will cover a lot of different issues. We have a lot of different guests who are going to be here. I'll be joined by Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins in just a couple of minutes, and we'll try to provide you some idea of what's happening around Westchester County today that might be of some interest to you. We hope you're all getting ready to have a very safe and happy 4th of July season. The Independence Day comes on Thursday of this week, and we'll talk about safety for that end in just a few seconds. But first, the big news of today, Monday, July 1st, is this is the first day where our Beeline bus system is free of fares. You can get on the Beeline buses anywhere in Westchester County and travel during the months of July, the month of August, and the Labor Day weekend, which gives you 2 days in the month of September. And you can travel free of charge anywhere in the system. This is the third straight year we've been able to do this. It is an annual decision that we make based on our revenues. We want to make sure that we have enough revenue from other sources to offset the loss of the fare box. So if you're not paying a fare for July and August, we still need some revenue to run the system, and because we have performance and other revenues, we're able to afford to do this. It is a year-by-year decision, but we made that decision. We've announced it a month ago, and now we've reached that point. It is fare-free as well for those who use paratransit services, and so we're very happy that people use the system. We usually have an increase in bus ridership during the summer. It's always helpful for senior citizens that rely on the buses. It's also helpful for young people who are home from school. They want to go to Playland. They want to go to Glen Island. You now have a free way to do that, and that we think is a very positive thing. We hope that the riders who use it during the summer get accustomed to it and decide that they want to continue to use the Beeline bus system in the fall. We will reestablish fares come September 3rd, but we hope that it becomes a great introductory situation for people who haven't been on the system either for a while or perhaps ever at all. But it's a very convenient system. We have bus maps available to tell you how to get to the New York City subway stations in the southern part of the county. Metro North stations all over the county are served by the Beeline bus system. And we hope that this is another good example of how we're trying to think ahead, be thoughtful about people's economic needs, and at the same time try to grow ridership. This is the second largest ridership of any bus system in the state of New York, behind, of course, the New York City bus system. But we have more bus riders in Westchester than they do in Buffalo or Albany, Rochester, Syracuse, and either of the counties on Long Island. Beeline bus system is the second most well-used system, and we hope we can grow ridership a little bit. So the B is free for the next 2 months. We hope you have a chance to use it. Next up, we have our municipal partner program. Every one of these updates, to the best of our ability, we invite a local town supervisor, a city mayor, or a village mayor to join us and to talk about their community and what's happening in their community. There are 45 municipalities in Westchester County that are incorporated, and we try to get every one of them in at least once a year. Our guest today has been with us before, but we're happy to have him back again. He is the mayor of the village of Pleasantville, Peter Shearer, and Peter will talk about what's new in his community. This is a big month in Pleasantville. Big music is going to be happening, and lots of other fun things. So without any further time taken away from his time, I introduce you to the mayor of the village of Pleasantville, Peter Shearer. Peter, thanks for coming back. We're happy to have you here.
Glad to be back. Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Glad to think the Beeline bus is free this summer. A couple of Beeline buses cut right through Pleasantville, New York. It's a good way to come visit us. So municipal partner program is true in the full sense of that word. You and all of your colleagues here at the county have been such a partner to us and to every community in Westchester. I thank you for that. So those of you who may not know a lot about Pleasantville, it's a community squarely in the middle. We view ourselves as the magnetic center of everything that goes on in the world. A community of about 7,500 residents, perhaps twice that many with Pleasantville address, who feel centered on our community. We are fortunate in many ways to have been inherited a growth pattern that has given us a lot of housing close to schools, close to the library, close to downtown, close to our Metro North train station, and that has fueled generations of folks who wanted to come to a community where that sort of life was available to them. And it has drawn, as it continues to draw today, folks who want to be involved in a community, appreciate the sort of civic heart of what goes on in Pleasantville, and have engaged very richly in all kinds of things that go on. We're fortunate to have a bunch of natural resources nearby. We have Nanahagan Pond just outside our borders, Opperman's Pond, and within very quick reach, the Rockefeller State Park. We have Pace University, which is right outside the village border, but in the town of Mount Pleasant, still called the Pleasantville campus. That's a great resource for us and the source of a lot of shared services and opportunities for our residents and for Pace students to participate in what goes on at Pace. We have a busy downtown, great restaurants, a whole series of restaurants that continue to be vibrant. New one soon to open downtown. And at the same time, we've sustained all these many years an independent bookstore. We have gift stores. We have quite a few retail opportunities. And so in a world where downtowns have changed dramatically, ours included, I'm very happy to say we have, I think at the moment, only a handful of vacancies. And so that is happy news and a reason for all of you to come and wander around Pleasantville and get a sense for what goes on. It's well known as an arts and a community. We have right on Wheeler Avenue, the Gordon Parks Gallery. Gordon Parks was a towering figure in American photography and the first and foremost black documentary photographer in the 20th century. His entire life's work exists in an archive at 48 Wheeler Avenue, and there is a gallery there of changing exhibitions, sometimes a work by Parks himself, sometimes current artists who are inspired by or riffing off what Gordon Parks does. So that is a great opportunity, and we encourage everybody to come take a look at what goes on. We have Arc Stages, which is a thriving not-for-profit theater with a program with equity actors doing professional work, a program of community stage with local folks doing musicals and plays, and a thriving educational program for little kids all the way up to teenagers. And just, I think today is the first day of their big summer camp. So as I hope most of you already know, we're past the 20-year point as the home of the Jacob Burns Film Center and the Jacob Burns Media Arts Lab. Amazing stuff goes on there. A shout out to them for their recently renovated third floor, which includes a cafe called Take 3, a place where you can head up to the third floor before or after a movie, have a drink, have a beer, have wine, have some small bites, a lot of it supplied by neighboring restaurants and the Little Mouse Cheese Store. So great opportunity to extend your day at the Burns, and also folks welcome even if you didn't go to a movie. So as I mentioned at the outset, we have the great good fortune of being a tight place with the opportunity for folks who live in most places in the village to walk most places they might want to go. They don't always do it, but they have the opportunity, and I will say that has delivered in spades for us. Two shout outs, one to our Pleasantville Farmers Market, which takes place every Saturday in Memorial Plaza, just announced 11th year in a row, Best of Westchester in Westchester Magazine. So a shout out to the Pleasantville Music Festival. Our county executive frequently appears there, unexpected, unannounced, and we appreciate that. Then lastly, the most important thing just for the moment is 2 weeks from yesterday, Saturday, July 13, is the 18th annual Pleasantville Music Festival at Parkway Field on Marble Avenue. 18 bands. Music starts at noon and continues on till 9 p.m. It's a fabulous day with 3 different stages, Captain Lawrence Beer Garden, all kinds of food and beverage vendors, as well as vendors of arts and crafts and some not-for-profit partners. A shout out to Northwell Health, the operators of both Phelps Hospital in Sleepy Hollow and Northern Westchester in Mount Kisco. Northwell is now, for the 3rd year in a row, our presenting sponsor for the Pleasantville Music Festival. So get yourself to pleasantvillemusicfestival.com, buy your tickets, and if you are inclined to get there early, fairly early in the day, is a band on the main stage called NED, No Evidence of Disease. That is a band entirely made up of gynecology oncologists. Lead singer is Dr. Gazelka David West, who is a Northwell oncologist at Phelps and Northern Westchester. And so couldn't be a nicer synergy between our presenting sponsor, Northwell Health, and an appearance on the main stage by NED. So get there. July 13, PleasantvilleMusicFestival.com. Thank you, County Executive.
Thank you very much, Peter Scheer, Mayor of Pleasantville. Peter's done a great job. In this job, he's also served as head of the Municipal Officials Association, where he's worked with his colleagues across the county, and that partnership becomes a very important partnership. So thank you very much for all of that hard work. Peter will be happy to be in Pleasantville for this and other great activities. Next up, Ken Jenkins is going to be here, and he's going to introduce Michael Orth to talk about July being Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Ken Jenkins, Deputy County Executive.
Thanks, George. And July is absolutely Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And in 2008, it was inspired by B.B. Moore Campbell's charge to end stigma and provide mental health support for minority communities. And July was designated as B.B. Moore Campbell National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month by the U.S. House of Representatives. Ms. Moore Campbell started the NAMI chapter out in Los Angeles, and she was an actress that most people have seen in so many things. In the House was the most famous show that she was engaged in, 3 bestsellers, et cetera. But her work on NAMI, with NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, was recognized by the House of Representatives on this day for Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And since mental health affects us all, and everyone deserves the inherent right to have access to the mental health support, resources, and care, and that has been a challenge to continue to work through that. Everyone has not had that equitable access, but here in Westchester County, we've been proud to be leaders in trying to work with everyone, especially in our mental health awareness, whether that's May for Mental Health Awareness Month, and now for Minority Mental Health Awareness Month in July. With that, we have the champion for that for us here in Westchester County. He's done a tremendous job for that. So let me bring up at this time, Michael Orth, Commissioner of Community Mental Health. Michael.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. I first want to thank our County Executive and Deputy County Executive for recognizing July as Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And as the Deputy County Executive said, it's an opportunity to bring awareness to the unique challenge that racial and ethnic minorities, as well as the LGBTQ+ community face when it comes to mental illness. In 2020, fewer than 1 in every 2 African American adults got care for mental health. More than half of Hispanic young adults 18 to 25 who experience a serious mental illness does not receive treatment. In 2018, Asian Americans were 60% less likely to receive mental health treatment than non-Hispanic whites. And finally, the LGBTQ+ teens are 6 times more likely to experience symptoms of depression than non-LGBTQ+ and identifying teens. We also recognize that some of the obstacles that exist include lack of health insurance, lack of access to treatment, but also lack of racially, culturally responsive services and stigma. Under our County Executive and Deputy County Executive, we've created a partnership with our community stakeholders. This includes increased active representation engagement in our mental health service systems. This includes more racially, culturally, linguistically competent services. For example, our Suicide Prevention Task Force has members of those reflective communities who are actively engaging in creating and reshaping our services. And we also have a workforce development initiative that really reaches into our colleges and universities to identify people who represent the individuals that we serve in our mental health system and engaging them in employment opportunities. A few of the examples that have led to success include our faith-based mental health initiative, thanks to Pat White and Soul Shop. We also have a mental health affirming resource directory where there are all diversity therapists who now also reflect different cultures and faith affirming services. For this month, we're doing a Let's Listening, Empathy, Trust Supports. Thanks to our partners for AFSP, on July 8th, we will be doing an introduction to suicide prevention for the Black community that will be posted on our website. We also created Life is Precious, an organization in Yonkers that works with Latino female adolescents who may be more at risk, and also a strong partnership with WJCS Center Lane and The Loft, really supporting education our adults and youth in welcoming and affirming youth for all different types of needs. And one of the highlights today is we really want to remind folks of 988, which is our 988 suicide prevention crisis hotline, and there are bilingual staff available as well for those services. July, as National Minority Mental Health Month, gives us an opportunity to prevent and combat stigma, provide a hopeful message that there are opportunities for you or your loved ones to engage in helpful services. And finally, I'd like to thank Bill Weitz from our Department of Community Mental Health, who will be sending out posts and educational information throughout the month of July to provide additional resources. So thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And certainly we want to continue to let everyone know, Commissioner Orth and the great team at Community Mental Health with all of our nonprofit partners want to continue to make sure that everyone is aware, just not in Minority Mental Health Month in July, but at all times, that we are here to help. We still have our 988 Lifeline responding 24/7 to calls, chats, or texts from anyone who needs support for suicidal, mental health, and or substance use crisis, and connects those in need with trained crisis counselors. There are many reasons that people connect with our 988 Lifeline around the country. Some examples in addition to thoughts of suicide are feeling overwhelmed with anxiety, sexual orientation worries, drinking too much, drug use, feeling depressed, mental and physical illness, loneliness, trauma, relationships, and economic worries. We just want to continue to reinforce that we are absolutely here to help, and that 988 Lifeline responding to those calls 24/7 are a way to make sure to help yourself in those times of crisis. With that, we'll turn it back over to County Executive Latimer.
Kenny. As we continue to go forward, our next issue that we want to talk about is safety over the 4th of July weekend. We have a couple of guests who are with us to help us talk about some of the things to be mindful of. This is a time of the year where you celebrate. You're with family and friends. You have outdoor barbecues. You have fireworks displays, things that are joyous, but there are also things that could become very problematic. So with us today, we want to invite Westchester Medical Center Chief of Trauma and Acute Care Surgery, Dr. Kartik Prabhakaran, and we would like Doctor to join us here, talk a little bit about some of the experience that he's seen over the years from people that have suffered from some of these accidents and how we can prevent them. Doctor, if you would, please. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Latimer. Thanks. I'd like to begin by expressing my gratitude to the County Executive, Mr. Latimer, and the Health Commissioner for inviting me. Yes, we do refer to this time of the year as trauma season because it is our busiest period, spanning from Memorial Day to Labor Day. With people out and about, accidents are inevitable. The July 4th holiday this week and over the last 2 years at Westchester Medical Center, we've cared for more than a dozen patients with firework-related injuries, and these injuries are severe. Skull fractures, eye injuries, second and third degree burns, and amputations. I cannot stress this enough. Leave the fireworks to the professionals. Speaking of burns, do you know that those sparklers, the ones that many parents hand out to young children, can burn as hot as 2,000 degrees? According to my colleagues at Westchester Medical Center Burn Center, that's blowtorch level hot, and they suggest thinking twice before handing those sparklers to the children. My burn center colleagues also stress wearing proper footwear while walking on the beach. The sand temperatures can soar up to 150 degrees, and at those temperatures, even a few seconds of contact can cause second and third degree burns. Same for pool decks, pavement, and those dreaded metal playground slides. Pools in open water pose risk too. Know your swimming limitations, understand tides, and closely supervise children. Since 2022, our colleagues in Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital of Westchester Medical Center Health Network have treated over 20 children for drowning-related complications, including 5 pediatric intensive care unit admissions. I had the good fortune recently of being asked by the Journal News to participate in a story about motorcycle safety, in which I shared that we care for over 100 patients each year that are injured while riding motorcycles. Westchester in the Hudson Valley is a great place to ride, but it is important to be aware of your surroundings, speeds, and road conditions. Whether you're on a motorcycle, an ATV, a bicycle, please wear a helmet, please wear protective equipment, and please follow the rules of the road. In conclusion, I'll say that a little common sense and awareness of your surroundings goes a long way in preventing traumatic injuries. And if you find yourself injured, don't be your hero and delay care. Head to your closest emergency department immediately. Thank you for your time and attention, and please be safe this summer and always. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Much appreciated. Some important words for all of us to take message of, and hopefully we'll see ourselves make the right moves and decisions so that on July 5th, we're happy and safe and healthy. Next up, we'll have Ken point out a major appointment that we have coming.
It's super awesome. We are really pleased to announce here in Westchester County the appointment of Gina Pickenich, the former mayor of Mount Kisco, as the new Deputy Commissioner of Human Resources, Local Jurisdiction Administration. Gina Pickenich brings a wealth of experience to her new role, having served as the mayor of Mount Kisco, where she demonstrated strong leadership and a deep commitment to the community. Prior to serving as mayor of Mount Kisco and as the Mount Kisco Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, Gina Pickenich held executive-level positions in the marketing communications firm of Bernard Holtz Group, which specialized in talent acquisition and retention. The Westchester County Department of Human Resources maintains detailed employment records for more than 30,000 employees across 121 local jurisdictions, including the cities, towns, the villages, school districts, and fire districts, Westchester Medical Center, and our libraries. Annually, they conduct 2,500 pre-employment background checks, and they're staffed by a team of 45 professionals who implement a myriad of programs, including an online performance appraisal system, a state-of-the-art civil service examination management system, a county-wide telework program, comprehensive decentralized continuous recruitment testing program, automated workflow approval processes, as well as re-engineering civil service administration. And that's just the things that happen without the changes that happen at our state level annually at the end of the state legislative session, where there's additional things that happen that might have happened in the budget process, or most certainly that happens in the legislative end of session for our state legislators. So Gina Pickenich is a great addition to Westchester County, and I'm pleased to welcome her with County Executive Latimer to our Westchester County Department of Human Resources, specifically focusing on local jurisdiction administration. That's where the local municipalities take on the individual assignments of recruiting and retaining their individuals in their municipalities, school district, fire districts, and in Westchester Medical Center. Back to you, George.
Hope this back and forth stuff is okay. We're trying to show a coordination as much as we can. Next, our update is going to go to the dogs. Everybody who knows me knows I am a big fan of dogs. Yes. I think the world of dogs, and some of them are actually recognized in society by performing a public service. And that is what we have today with Harley and Brett Hochran, who's the county police detective. Both of them are going to be retiring after storied careers of serving the public. So I'm going to ask Probation Commissioner Rocco Posey to join us here and to recognize both our police detective, Brett Hochran, and his canine partner, Harley. Mr. Commissioner, Brett, Harley, front and center.
Well, we're actually here to honor and recognize the great work that Brett Hochran's done, and especially Harley, in working with the police and working with probation and many other agencies that have asked our assistance when searches were being conducted. Harley's specialty is electronic devices. People don't realize that as a condition of probation, especially with sex offenders that are placed on probation, there is a condition that they are not allowed to have computers that have electronic devices that can have pornography or other things on it that are prohibited as ordered by the court. And when our probation officers conduct searches, or they're just regular home visits at times, we will take Harley with us, and believe it or not, I can't begin to tell you the things that we have found that weren't supposed to be in possession of these people on probation. So she's been a tremendous asset to the county. We're happy for Brett and we're happy for Harley, but we are going to miss him. And the program was so successful that the county executive and the deputy county executive and, our chief of staff, Joan, has given us permission to continue the program. We are in the process right now of purchasing another dog from the Guiding Eyes. That dog will be trained by the Connecticut State Police as Harley was. And we're hoping that in 12 weeks after the training begins, we will be able to pick up the program again. The good news is that Brett has agreed to continue to work with us, as we need, even though he is retiring. We will work with him on an as-needed basis, and the county really appreciates that, Brett, that you're willing to do that for us. So without further ado, I wanted to turn the mic over to Brett, if he wanted to say a couple words and talk about Harley.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. All right, sit. All I can say is we're definitely going to miss the job. Being K9 Harley's handler for since 2017 has really been exciting. Especially we got to work with the FBI for 3 years, and then the last year with probation. We've done a lot of searches. We've probably done over 375 actual searches. When I was with the FBI, these searches, I tend to say they're the most famous searches in the country, or the most infamous searches in the country, but we got to work on a lot like the Michael Cohen searches and the Port Authority bomber, Roger Stone. These were searches that were really an honor to be part of, for them to utilize Harley. She has really done a really good job. She's found a lot of electronic evidence that's been used to close a lot of cases out. Most recently, just assisting our city of Peekskill with a homicide investigation when they were looking for a suspect telephone in the woods, and she was able to locate that device. Took her a few hours and a lot of breaks, but she was able to do that. So I think we proved that this discipline in canines is going to be needed as we move forward. Another thing we proved is that the best fit for it might be probation. Even though there's a lot of law enforcement searches, probation really has, I said this when I came to probation. When I make an arrest, I see the arrest and I see the arraignment, and I never see the defendant again. And when you're dealing with probation, some of these defendants are with probation for the next 10 years. 10 years of not having any electronic devices. They're not supposed to have any connection to the internet. What we've proven is that it's very difficult today to not have these devices. So what do these defendants do? These probationers do? They hide the devices. And K9 Harley has proven that with her technique, she can find these devices. We can get violations and subsequent put some people back in jail, unfortunately, who are not abiding to their conditions. So I really feel that there's a lot of good things to come out of it. I think the numbers that I put forward are going to be smashed by Commissioner Posey when he puts the new dog in service. But we're excited, and I'm going to help out all I can along the way. It's nice to retire, but it's also nice to stay in touch with everybody who's been so good to us, and we're definitely going to stick around and help out where we can. And I appreciate it, and thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you very much, Commissioner Posey, and of course, Harley, thank you. May you enjoy your retirement. A lot of treats. Everybody knows that word. Every dog knows that word. All right, we always leave Ken the opportunity to tell us about parks. Lots going on in parks, and it's a great time of the year in our Westchester County parks.
Thanks, George. And Harley's just super cool. So this week in parks, where you can have your dog on a leash to walk through the particular parks of Westchester County. Starting July 1st, the pools are open. So today the pools are open at Tibbetts Brook Park, Saxon Woods Park, Sprain Ridge Park, Wilson Woods Park, from 11 to 6:30. The last entry is at 6 p.m., but the pool stays open till 6:30. There's certainly conditions where County Executive Latimer may extend those hours based on on the weather and patterns that are happening. But those are the regular hours, 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And again, it goes daily right through up to September 2nd, so you can take your free Beeline bus to get to any one of our pools or the beaches from now up right until September 2nd, weather permitting. Yesterday on Sunday, there was some closures based on the lightning strikes that were going on, and that's for the safety of the people that are, whether it's in the pool or the golf courses, were closed a little bit early yesterday as well. Westchester residency is required, or if you have a Westchester County Park Pass, which you get as a Westchester resident, again, you need to have that with you. There are beaches that you do not need that for, which is Playland Park, which is still a county park, but the beach is run by Standard Amusement. So Monday, July 11th, again, we have our beaches open in Glen Island daily through September 2nd, and Croton Point Park up in Croton, New York, again, from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's Wednesdays through Sundays for our beaches. So the Wednesday through Sunday at Croton Point Park. Daily at Glen Island Park in New Rochelle. Again, you need a Westchester County residency for admission in Glen Island, or a county park pass, a valid New York State driver's license, or New York State ID with a Westchester County address. That's again at our beaches and pools, and there is a payment, so parking and admission fees do apply, and again, that's right through September 2nd. On July 3rd, once again, we're going to have our music festival and fireworks at the wonderful Kensico Dam Plaza, our Central Park here in Westchester County. At 5 p.m., we're going to get our dynamic guest DJ that shows up at the pools and beaches as well throughout the summer, but that's going to kick off at 5 p.m., followed by one of New York City's most exciting bands, Total Soul, which will start at 7 p.m., and the fireworks are planned to start at 9 p.m., The kids-oriented tailgate party at the adjoining Clover Road Park is from 6:45 to 8:45, and again, that is free. There's free admission. There's no parking fee for going to Kensico Dam Plaza, again, starting right at 5 p.m. on July 3rd. You'll see all the signs around the Bronx River Parkway and entrances through there that are reminding you that there's going to be many people that come. It is a very, very well-attended event, and it's exciting. Again, Wednesday, July 3rd. Back on Sunday, July 7th, we're back on the Bronx River Parkway for Bicycle Sundays. That will start, again, a little bit earlier now in July from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, so 8 a.m. to 12 noon, and then it stops in August and then kicks back up on September 8th, and that's from 10 a.m. to 1:45. So again, through July, it's a little bit earlier for those folks that usually know that Bicycle Sundays, when they're doing something on Sunday, they got to do that before 10 o'clock or the Bronx River Parkway is going to close. It is from 8 a.m. to 12 noon through July, so plan accordingly. Again, Sunday, July 7th, the Hispanic Heritage Festival is going to be back. It's one of the largest festivals that we have in Westchester County. That's going to be July 7th from noon to 6 p.m. at Kensico Dam Plaza. And again, once again, it's free admission, free parking, and that is what's happening in our nationally accredited award-winning park system. Back to you, George.
Very good, Ken, and that wraps up our report for the day. We hope you have a wonderful July 4th coming up in a couple of days. Use those free Beeline buses. We have our pools open, our 2 beaches are open, and lots to be able to enjoy with both our transportation and our recreational facilities. We want to again give recognition to some of those people that we honor, and today when we honored Brett in his completion of his years of service to the Department of Public Safety, along with Harley, and so many Westchester County employees who do terrific work. We went this weekend to the wake and the funeral for Maria Cotto, who we talked about before, from the Department of Social Services, and what a loss that was for us in the Westchester family, as a reminder of the achievements of that workforce, as well as the sadness that we feel when any member of our family is lost. But let us leave on an upbeat note. We celebrate the independence of the United States of America in the next few days. It is an experiment, and let us make sure we understand that the experiment is always under the test, and that we have to work in this generation to make sure that that independence continues for the future. I'm George Latimer. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.